welcome back or welcome to my channel, Lydia Lost the Plot. I'm here on BookTube to help you lose the plot and find your way back. So, I've got me brew. Have you got yours? Good. So we're going to do a little wrap up today. So the month of April for me was a weird reading month because so much of my reading month was took up by a pair of bookends podcast reading. So I used to do a lot of reading for the podcast. Now that I've left it, I can read a lot more by whim, which is quite exciting because it's been a long time since I've been able to sort of pick and choose what I'm going to read. A lot of the time it was dictated by podcast reads, by books that I needed to read for work, because I work in a bookstore. So yeah, so I've been a little bit constrained. I don't do well with constraints. So I burst forth and I am now ready to start reading by whim. However, the books that I did read in April were phenomenal. All of them were brilliant. There is not one dud in the pack, let me tell you. And I've had some duds this year. I mean, we'll get on to that. I will talk about that if you wish. But yes, so I'm going to quickly chat you through these books. I've got them down here beside me because I'm prepared. And the first one that I will be chatting about is The Garnett Girls by Georgina Moore. And this is about three sisters living basically in the aftermath of their parents' tumultuous marriage. And it's about each sister kind of grappling with how do you reconcile the issues that you have currently and the way that you view your parents and what your parents may have influenced in your own personality. It's such a great book about sisters. I think it would make a great book club read for anyone that was looking for something that will bring about discussion. There are a lot of themes in here that I think are quite difficult. One of the themes is alcoholism and alcohol abuse, alcohol misuse. And I think that it's really pertinent at the moment. I think a lot of people are getting sober, and I think that this is quite an interesting take on that concept. It's definitely worth picking up. I think it'll make a great holiday read as well. So if you're heading to the beach this summer, somewhere warm and sandy, this will be a brilliant companion. I also got the opportunity to read Girls by Kirsty. I think I'll show you the back there because this is a wonderful proof copy given to me very kindly. And as you can see, I've tabbed it. I've tabbed. She's that good. She's tabbed. Look at this cute little postcard. How cute is that? That's by the by. The book itself is brilliant. It's a brilliant novel by the author that wrote Careless. Kirsty was longlisted for the Women's Prize for fiction, and I think it was 2 years ago now. I can't remember the date. But yeah, and Benjamin Zephaniah has even blurbed this book by saying every word has the touch of a genius, which, I mean, that's like holy now. It's a brilliant book about a mother and a daughter and a sister going on a road trip, but it's very much not your typical road trip novel. Try not to think of like On the Road, Jack Kerouac, and try and think more Little Miss Sunshine, and you will be on the right track. There's a brilliant character who has an RV in it, and it's so good. It's really funny. I also have, by the way, I know that all three of these have the word girls written in them. I'm very aware. Honestly, it was accidental, but it just happened, and well, we're here. So so the next book I'm going to chat about is Sally Hepworth's Darling Girls. It is a very, actually quite darkly comic book, with really thrilling a thrilling concept, which is basically these three sisters were in foster care together. They were brought together. It's like a found family vibe, and they get a phone call saying in the house that they used to live in, a body has been found buried in the garden. And from that moment you slowly see all of this kind of backstory unravel, and it's really gripping and at times pretty scary. Not horrific, but in terms of kind of like, you know, this could happen, and I think it says a lot about the psychological causes of trauma. I think it says a lot about the impact that the foster care system has on children. It's brilliant. It's really good, and I think that it's one of those books that that you kind of consume all at once, but then afterwards it stays with you and it lingers, and a lot of the things I still think about from it. There's particular scenes with a very young baby that are quite difficult to get rid of, and I think that's important for a book of this nature. But yeah, it's thrilling, it's page turnery, that's not a word, it's thrilling, and it's a page turner basically. The next book that I read in April was The Fellowship of Puzzlemakers. This is a proof copy again, but it's a debut novel by Samuel Burr, and it is so much fun for fans of Richard Osman, for fans of any kind of like detective-y crime novels. This is going to be up your street, but it's also like a mystery as well. It's less a crime novel, more a mystery novel is what I'm trying to say, not eloquently. And it's about a young man who lives in basically a really dilapidated old house with a bunch of old people who all have these fantastic backstories and fantastic lives behind them, and they're all obsessed with puzzles, so jigsaws, crosswords, anagrams, all sorts. And actually in the book you get to solve some of the clues, which for a nerd like me I was like, yes, I love this. So yeah, this was very exciting. So it's about his quest, really. The woman that was basically like his mother, his sort of foster mother, has passed away, and it's about him trying to find out who he really is. And it's coming of age, it's mystery, it's fun, it's puzzles, it's atmospheric, it's globetrotting, it's just so much fun. I really enjoyed it, and I wasn't expecting to. I have to admit, I was not expected to, and I really did. If you've got a book lover in your family that is also a puzzle fan, this is a perfect book. And last but not least, the last book that I read in April was The Voyageur by Carlucci. So this book is about a young boy called Alex who basically has to find his way in the world. But the book is set in, let me get this right, 1830s Montreal. And it is harrowing. I mean, Paul Carlucci loves the bodily fluids. Let me tell you. But you never thought I'd say that to you, did you? But the bodily fluids, they're everywhere. they're everywhere. He loves the bodily fluid. I've got to stop saying bodily fluid. Yeah, so that happens. But also there's some great coming of age bits in this that really get you thinking. The language is great. There's a mixture in there of French, actual passages written in French, which kind of Paul leaves up to you to decipher what that means, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice that he doesn't condescend to the reader. I'm not saying I got it all, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, and it's blood, guts, gore, everything you want. I mean, not that you'd want that, but you get what I mean. And it's so much fun. So if you fancy a bit of historical fiction that doesn't shy away from the darker side of life, this is something I couldn't recommend enough. So that kind of is my reading for April, really. Usually I would read a bit more, but because I was a bit poorly at the end of it, I didn't really get a lot finished. So there are a few books that I'm finishing off at the moment, which I will let you know about. And that's it, really. I love a short wrap up. I know that's really lazy, but it's actually quite nice. But that's what I read in April. Looking forward to May. I'm still reading Lisey's Story by Stephen King. I am getting my way through this. It's fantastic. And not at all what I thought it was going to be, which I love that Stephen King does this every time to me. He lulls me into a false sense of security and then he hits me over the head with the book, which I like. So yeah, so I'm reading that at the moment. I'm also still reading the collection, The Secret Lives of Church Ladies by Deesha Philyaw. I haven't got it with me, but I am reading it. I'm just going to my brew. Hang on. Brew break. So yeah, I'm still reading that, and hopefully I'll get that finished pretty soon, and I'll get this finished soon. And then I don't know what to read next. I might put a little poll on my Instagram over at Lydia Lost the Plot for you guys to decide what I read next, because I'm sort of, I say that ever since I've had more free time, I'm excited about reading by whim. But now I'm sat here, I'm like, I know what I'm reading. I don't know what to do. No one's telling me what to read anymore. So what do I read? There's too much choice. So yeah, exciting, but also a bit daunting. So if you can help, then please do. But for now, thank you. Please do review, subscribe, all of the things. Like, what else do you do on YouTube? I don't know. But just, yeah, share the message along that I'm here and that we've got some great recommendations coming as well. So it'd be lovely to have you back. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy losing the plot. Bye.